Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. This is your host, Venerati. Today I am super excited because we are going to see Huk, the red Protoss, going up against Idra, the blue Zerg. So we are guaranteed to see some top tier, super awesome play today. This was really highly rated from what I was seeing. This is pretty fresh off the press. I believe it was uploaded either last night or early this morning. So this is pretty new stuff coming from this. So this is going to be after the patch came out. So we are going to have the 4-range roaches and the void rays and all those shenanigans. But on a side note, I want to go ahead and do a shout out to all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting me. I just reached 40 this morning right before I cast this, so super excited about that. Thank you so much, guys. Love you bunches. And also, not sure who all is going to MLG Dallas, but I have decided to go, and I will be there and actually be playing in the tournament. So I am going to need to practice and skill up, and hopefully not make too much of a fool out of myself. But hopefully I'll get to see some really good guys up there. I'm really excited about it, and hopefully some of y'all will be there too. So super excited about that as well. I'm just super excited, period. So what we got going on back in the game, we just got some, well, the Overlords are just lumbering out there and are going to try to take a peek. So after watching a lot of games from Idra today, I just made a really good use of his Overlords. Not in the sense of just, you know, sticking them out there and poking them in and seeing what's going on, but he makes sure and he keeps them alive really well. Seeing, I forgot one of them, he had a speed upgrade just for the heck of it, because especially if you're going up against Terran players, which we'll see later on, those Vikings are just so devastating if you use your Overlords to scout around, because without that speed upgrade, these guys are just so look at that. I mean, that drone right there is just hauling ass past him, just tearing it up. Oh, what is the speed? Let's go ahead and look at that. Yeah, 0.47. They don't go anywhere in a hurry, and if you have a Viking sitting there chewing on you, it's not really gonna work out too well for you, unless you've got a queen nearby. But if you're way out here like this, I mean, the great placement of this Overlord, but if you got a Viking raining down on you, well, sorry buddy, you are dead. Either way, we see a Zealot coming out with a little bit of chrono boost, just finishing up there, and the drone got done scouting Huk's base. So Idra knows what Huk is up to at this point, and we see Warp Gate coming in for Huk. So going to be curious to see whether Huk chooses to go with a 4-gate, or if he's going to do a 3-gate with a robo, or something of that nature. Either way, we have this probe running for its life, trying to get away from these Zerglings, trying to see what he can figure out before that, but this queen just says, hell no, get out of here, and pretty much just reduces it to dust. So let's go and take a gander at the income tab. Right now, Idra is only one harvester behind. We have Huk here chrono boosting out probe, so trying to make up for the fact that he does not have a second base coming online. So Idra doing a good job of taking that natural, and he will be populating it here relatively soon. And back to the production tab, we have a Stalker and a Zealot coming out here for an early aggressive push. Not much of a push with only 2 guys, but really just going to be getting up in Idra's face right now and seeing what kind of damage he can do. And we do have a Spine Crawler coming down here, and this one Queen is going to come over here and try to do something with this Stalker, but the Queen just will not be able to do much, especially with the Zealot backing it up. The Zealot is running after it, the Queen trying to run behind its drones, behind the lair, or behind the hatchery, but the range is just too much for the Stalker, so the Stalker's going to be able to get out there. And that Zerg just got sliced and diced. Those drones coming out there trying to soak up some damage. The Zealot does go down. We have more Zerglings on the way down here, so this Stalker is not going to be able to do much right now. Stalker refusing to go away, however, continuing to be a menace here, trying to shoot that creep tumor. Will it be able to get? Yes, he will be able to get it, but he is going to take damage right there. He just took 3 damage, but Huk doing a good job of backing him out before he took too much damage, allowing the Protoss shields to regenerate, as you see right there now, already back up to 5. So regeneration rate on these guys is pretty amazing, especially considering back in Brood War you had to use those shield batteries for it to come back. So I'm definitely digging that. But this Spine Crawler is not digging these Stalkers. These Stalkers are forced to kind of go go around because they will just go ahead and circumvent the static defenses of Idra. These drones being pulled away, trying not to sustain any sort of damage. That spine crawler almost had range on that stalker, but the stalker luckily moved back. We have the spine crawler moving up and will be digging in while the Zerglings try to get us around on this stalker. The stalker does look like it will go down. Yes, it does. The stalker's doing a good job of staying in between the crystals so that there cannot be a good Zerglings around. However, it looks like these stalkers' days are numbered. There are just too many Zerglings right here. Those stalkers trying to focus down as many drones they possibly can before they die. So those stalkers did not really put Huk in the best position as far as losses go this early on. However, Huk has had more than enough time to reestablish an army and has a lot of sentries down. Let's go ahead and look at the units tab right now. Yeah, he has 5 sentries down against 14 Zerglings. Those Zerglings are going to get just cut to shreds, but we do have roaches coming up for Idra with the reconstitution, so these are going to be some pretty hopped up roaches. They will be able to even chase down the stalkers at that point. And we do have the Forge coming online with Weapons 1 coming up. So it is going to be chrono boosted out here. We have a lot of sentries, 1 zealot. These roaches do not like that Forge and are going to be going after, but these those are running for it. Like, look at all those force fields coming down for Huk. And this 1 sentry, oh, not a good position to be in. That 1 sentry going down because it chose to go against the grain and around this side. So that's what you get for being independent, I guess. So he got the smackdown thrown on him. So we do see a 4-gate for Huk. And we do see a photon cannon come down there. It's like, that's a little too small for another gate. So either way, we have the continual chrono boosting of the Weapons 1 coming out for Huk. Huk bringing online his... Well, actually, that's been online for quite some time. He is finishing up populating his mineral line on his natural. Let's go and take a look at the income tab. The Harvester count is in Idra's favor ever so slightly. We're just looking at 6. However, the overall income is... Well, it's ever so slightly for Idra. Idra is mining more gas, as you can see right there, so the minerals are relatively even. Let's go back to production. We're going to go ahead and see a Robo Bay coming on for Huk, so Huk is going to probably combat the Roach threat with Immortals, because that's generally what you see. And we have Carapace coming down for Idra. Idra seeing that or guessing that the weapons the weapons are going to be upgraded to level 1. And we have an Observer. So instead of rushing out the Immortal, we saw the Observer coming up for Huk. The Observers are so useful, though. They pretty much can just trundle around the entire map with impunity. And we have these roaches coming up here, sniping that 1 stalker. Another stalker going down. We have the shields coming up for him. And we have force fields trapping these roaches. These roaches desperately trying to get. We have this one little area right here. 1 gets away. There are too many force fields coming down. All of these roaches are going to go down. The roaches are trying to fight back, shooting at those zealots. Those zealots running around, trying to get in melee contact with the roaches. The roaches are microing those Zerg. the Zerg. The roaches are microing the zealots. The zealots do not have legs quite yet. So this is another zealot is going to be going down. The roaches really getting in the face of these units. I do not know why Huk split his army there. That little group acting as a vanguard for it, but totally getting smashed right there. And these roaches with the Galil Reconstitution are able to chase down all of these units and are just nipping at the heels right there. And 2 force fields in desperation trying to get this army away from Huk. But Idra was already retreating at that point, so not a big deal. Idra bringing on a second expansion here. So Idra continuing to macro, really just trying to utilize the Zerg's just wonderful ability to macro and going to be able to reinforce his armies quite well right here. And we do see a Hydralisk den down with the Groove Spines coming up. So we are probably going to see Hydralisks being used here. Hydralisks are so useful against these gateway units, especially with that high attack speed. Makes them even more deadly against these Immortals, seeing as a high attack rate is really going to lessen the effectiveness of their hardened shields. As a huge high damage, low attack speed would pretty much be rendered. It would be just neutered, seeing as you can only do a maximum of 10 damage to the hardened shield at one time. Idra doing a great job of laying out this skin highway. There are just so many creep tumors out here, and allowing him just to pretty much waltz around the entire map with great mobility, because it just adds that much more speed, especially for these Hydra. It looks like they are skating on top of that. So Idra really doing a good job of that. Idra bring on another hatchery right there, so we are going to see even more production facility coming online for Idra. Idra is actually going ahead and bringing on the infestation pit, so not sure if we're going to see just an upgrade to a hive, or if we're going to see some infestors coming down using fungal growth and whatnot. And we do see the robotics bay coming in. Whoa, here we go. These immortals are leading the charge against these roaches. Not the best placement for these mortals. They should not be soaking up all that much damage. You want these stalkers and the zealots in front of them. There are just so many hydralisks right here. Those forces are desperately trying to break up the army. However, these immortals are going to be shot down. The stalker, or the sentry's right there. Another sentry going down. Huk is not in a great position right here. There are just so many units of Idris. Too few of his units right here. It's one immortal. I mean, he got 5 kills, but he's just not going to be able to do enough right here. And we do have more zealots swarming in here, trying to soak up some damage, but there's just so much fire DPS coming from these Hydralisks that Huk is, yeah. You see Huk tap out. There is just too much in his face. Idra doing a good job of slowly building up his army while Huk was trying to constantly harass him, and then finally coming out with an overwhelming force, overwhelming Huk, and right there the robotics facility was just basically rendered useless right there. So good job by Idra. Idra taking the game here with overwhelming Hydralisk force. So, guys, thank you so much once again for supporting me. I can't wait to finish off today because there's going to be a lot more Idra coming here. We have one more game in between Idra and Huk, so please stay tuned for that. And as always, citizens, stay safe.